As soon as I packed up school, I worked down to, I forget the name of it now.
I grew up like in Kerala, the southern part of India.
Unfortunately, with the crisis that we had in Greece, one day I was without job and was 47 years old. To do what? Nothing.
My mum arrived here when she was 6, and then kind of growing up was a bit tough for her. She went through bullying and having to work hard at school to actually understand the language. But now she's proper Cockney.
Okay, cool. I'm going to direct you from here because I might as well take you straight to where it kind of started for me still.
Ethel Elizabeth Cahoon.
Kiran Ponath.
My first name is Chara Lambos. It's Miss Harris.
Sahila Hamis, but also known as Sue.
My name's Emerson Borishade, also known as Ems or Emzino Music, Ems Master Beats. Yeah, that's me.
But the people were good, I thought, in those days. They mixed more than what they do today. Because years ago, you know, I'd come home from work and there'd be always a couple of women standing chatting outside. But you don't see no one now. None of these new people talk.
Hi, how are you? I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Which is a shame, really. You know, because I think that when you have a chat with someone, it takes you out yourself, doesn't it? Especially if you're living on your own.
When the weather is nice, I like. I'm walking, this means from the airport, I'm going to have a walk in the Britannia village there, to dogs, go up the bridge. Yeah, this is nice.
People wouldn't much know about the people who lives across, and they wouldn't know the people here. I don't know, because when I walk around that's Britannia village, I know a couple of guys. They're quite friendly.
So it's Britannia Village. We're literally like a family. Everyone literally knows each other. As you saw, I was talking to my neighbour.
I mean, when I was 14, I went to work in Lausers. We did everything by hand. See, the sugar came down in the boxes, and we used to have to pick them up like that and hold 7 £2 packets together without dropping, and put them in a bag, fold them up, stack them. Sugar, stack them. They don't do that now. Everything's all done, you know, by a machine.
I make things happen from nothing, if you get what I'm saying, kind of thing. I make do with what I've got.
I was checked inside the internet to see what happens, and the Sunday there was London City Airport, an available position for Lost and Found department, and they wanted this qualification. I had all of them because I worked for different airlines.
So this is the work for like last 6 years now. I've been shooting the same landscape for the last 6 years.
The children changed. They watched the telly.
I basically grew up here. I was never really allowed to play out.
When we was young, we'd go out the street every night time and we'd have a game, Blind Man's Puff or Kiss Chase. And I, like a fool, used to run like mad. My mate used to keep getting caught, and she could run as fast as what I could. But it never dawned on me.
I come from a household full of musicians, DJs.
Our dad would put our piano out the front, and then the street then would all have a party with Dad on the piano. Even a smashing piano now, yeah, smashing.
I like to do a lot of like sampling and remixing and stuff like that.
Uh-oh! Oh no! Swiper's on Treasure Island! He's gonna try and swipe the treasure chest!
So I like to do like a lot of like remixes and like just different working with sound, because my whole thing is about I'm interested sonically in sound, like how sound works.
Some of these days you gotta miss me, honey. Some of these days you gonna feel so lonely. You'll miss my hugging, you'll miss my kisses, 'cause you know, honey, you always have your way. They do, don't they? Sorry about that,
I mean, there is a dock nearby home. That was actually the gateway to the world for around 1,500 years. We're talking about like 300 BCE to around 14th century. And that was the place where all the ships arrived to Kerala, and it was basically the gateway to India at that time. And someone was saying this is the gateway to the world back in 19th century to 20th century. I could really strike like a very similar pattern there.
And from that time, I'm here in this area all the time. I'm glad because I like this place. I like this place. The only thing is sometimes you can see, if you're going from the other side, which means from the factory road behind, you see starting to be more industrial.
They're changing up the area. I feel like gentrification it's something that I don't agree with, but at the same time, if it creates better living for the people that were in the area as well as the people that want to come there as well, I feel like why not kind of thing.
My whole childhood was literally in that house.
There is the scrap factory there that is working from 6 o'clock. You hear the lorries come with scraps and boom, boom. And you can imagine all of us that live in this area, you hear everything.
I feel like this place is getting a bit more noisier than how it was.
And also the dust, because one of the worst things is the metallic dust.
They should be the same rates or the same as what they were, like not 10 times or 3 times more expensive.
There is areas in this proper borough, they have become like that, proper nice. And there's our area that we struggle.
Loads of people have to move out of the area and go out of London, and it's a bit unfair really, to be honest.
It was me and my mum and my dad, so yeah, that's when we moved in. And then had siblings.
I was so lucky because the flat that I found wasn't flat, it was room. I don't have flat. The rent is too expensive.
I think there was 7 or 8 of us.
And the room becomes from £490, can arrive at £700.
It's quite crammed, yeah, but you know, kind of dealt with it.
Because I was at a space where I actually went homeless and I had nowhere to stay. And then it took me...
You know, they used to have some flats up there, didn't they? Well, we lived up there. So when they was coming down, I said to my husband, I said, we're stupid, we should be buying our own house.
It took me about 3 to 4 days to find a place, and I found a little room or whatever, and I've just been based in the little room kind of just plotting.
Because he was very, it wasn't like me, I was always wanted to, but he would hold back. But I pushed him enough and got my own way, and we bought this.
Finally, we got the offer of trying to move out, because moving out in Newham is not the best, it's not the easiest.
Everyone kind of says it's aggressive. There's loads of people there that do like alcohol and drugs and stuff, but when it comes to like kind of me doing my music, they all kind of give me a bit of leeway and say, yeah, Ems does music, leave him to do his music.
I would go back to Kerala.
The room was, first of all, I like to be sunny. It means it was in the first floor and they had windows. And this is one of the best things that I love.
Here it's beautiful, but there we used to get a bit more, forests and trails and stuff.
Dad was quite content to sit there, let the road go past. But me, I always wanted to sort of get going. Yeah. But he said he wouldn't change me, but then he would have left me. Never mind.
We've got 4-bedroom now.
Ever since the pandemic, we haven't been there like for 2.5 years now.
Now that I'm living in another flat that is with balcony, this means I can see everything from, my friends, they call me Greek the spy from the sky.
You made me love you, I didn't want to do it, I didn't want to do it. You made me want you, and all the time you do. Yes, you always do. You made me happy sometimes, you made me sad. But there were times when you made me feel quite bad. You made me sigh, 'cause I didn't want to tell you, I didn't want to tell you. I want some love, that's true, yes I do, I do, indeed I do, so come and give me what I want for, God, you know, God, the father kisses that I die for. You know you made me love you. Bye 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 bye.
Bye, Mum. We have the youth centre as well, so that played a big part in actually everyone kind of knowing each other.
When I see some things on the pavement there, I took and I threw in the bin because we live here, no one else. We smell, we thinks everything. Because if you do all the things proper, somehow will change.
It's a very good community. Like I kinda am the person who I am because of this area.
I wanted to do the voluntary for a long, long time. Now that you are in furlough, for me it's nice because I wanted to do something interesting for my community.
When I actually done volunteering for BV Summer Scheme, and I just saw all the great work, and it just inspired me.
Now the countries that are come, I believe it's from Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, can be from Ethiopia. There is 2 or 3 from Turkey. They don't came here because they was happy. They came here because they was threatened in their countries. And I know that was proper poor because they hadn't the kids, no milk, drinking dirty water from nothing. And now I believe that's so different. You can see in their face that they're more happy and they have food that they can survive for the next day. English people, proper English, that they need help, but they don't come because they're same. Hit everything, yes? Hit everything. But unfortunately there is more English because I live in this area and I know that there's struggle, but because they are same, they don't want to come to take food. And this is pity because we are in their country, we are in UK and they're English, and there must be first them to come to take things, and then of course you must give also to the others, but you cannot press anyone.
Yeah, I remember when he was like this small, like he was tiny, like he just... Oh! My dad is very strict in terms of go to school, get a good job, and my mum is very do what you love kind of thing, like express yourself.
I had cancer, reason I'm in the wheelchair.
From a household where you can express yourself, go into a household where you can't express yourself, it kind of confuses a child, so you don't know whether to speak up or not speak up.
Then growing up, I obviously had other health issues which kind of added on to like my education and everything. I will. She's all right, she's fine, she's good.
I decided to, from kind of a younger age, to say nobody can kind of push and pull me, I've got to make my own decisions.
So at that time it was kind of thing where I was falling back behind because I was always at hospital. There was times where I would even get told by teachers like, you know, you're going to fail, and it was the type of thing where I didn't really want to hear because I'm a very positive person.
I didn't have any carers or foster caring agency helping me, I didn't have any of that. I kind of just had to say, listen, I want to do this, can you please sign my forms for me, can you please let me in and let me do what the course I wanted to do. And I got really good grades in music technology, like distinction, merit. And that's when I kind of knew that I was good at music.
So Big 'em Up was a event that was funded by New and Word Festival.
I don't want to gain all this knowledge about the music industry and then come across youth myself and then do the same things that people did to me to them.
I decided to do a showcase, kind of showcasing different people's talents. So that was through dance, poetry, spoken words.
Setting the right example, because when people see good, they want to do good.
A lot of us don't empower each other in our society. It's becoming a thing where we're kind of dividing, and I feel like it was just, bringing different communities together, good vibes, positivity, and that's what I like to spread, to be honest.
There's loads of young people, and when they have clouded minds and they can't see, they're always gonna try and find their way through the cloud. And when you're trying to find your way through the cloud, you don't know where you're going. So it's like you can bump into somebody and then cause a problem or cause an issue there. So it's about kind of the anger comes from the cloudiness. But if there's no clouds and there's no kind of, you can see everything what's going on, there's nothing for you to be upset about.
The first photographs which I took ever of Royal Docks was of Millennium Mills, the pillars basically. That was back in 2014, January. It was like a winter morning, early morning, and near sunrise time.
That building over there.
We could turn that into like a safe place where they can like drop in whenever if they have any issues. Not everyone kind of has a safe place, I guess.
I would convert that to a heritage museum, and because many of my friends whom I talk to, they actually do not know the actual history of docks and even the mills.
Yeah, I would turn that into like, not a youth centre, but a youth centre.
I would really like to keep it as it is, not to demolish it and build apartments around it. That would be like a great loss, I would say.
Create a hub space that maybe people can come to like to create. So maybe have dance studios, music studios, anything to do with the creative arts, and not make it a place of an institution kind of thing, but make it a place of where the youth can actually just come through and create.